After I shift your perception, all I need to do is get you to see a situation a little bit differently. And in order to get your behavior to change, once I shift your perception, then I change the C in this model. And the C is context. And context is the most important thing in the world. And nobody's talking about it. So if you go back to I think it was 1957, there's this guy running a stage hypnosis, like comedy show, where they bring people up on stage and make them do silly stuff. And one of the guys that's up on stage, he's knocked out and he's doing all this crazy stuff. He's an off-duty police officer. So he has a concealed handgun. But one of the skits in this, or one of the bits that this comedian does, he tells the people that all of you are sheriffs and you can't leave the stage, but everybody in the audience right here is rowdy. And this off-duty police officer pulls out his service weapon and starts firing into the crowd. Of course not, because context dictated what he would do. So if I can change context to where what I want you to do is just an automatic thing, I can make you do anything. If you can just shift perception and context, you can radicalize someone on the internet and turn them into a shooter. In 1979, I think, there was a fire in Manchester in Woolworth's department store. And it turned out that most of the people that died were in the restaurant. And the restaurant was right by the door. So the fire inspector looked and they were trying to figure this out. And a psychologist finally came along and said they died because they were waiting to pay their bill. Because no one gave them permission to kind of stand up and walk out. And in the context of a restaurant, you don't stand up and walk out until you've paid your bill. So the perception of the situation, even though there's a fire, I'm locked in context of I'm sitting in a restaurant. So context matters. So one of the best things that you can learn when it comes to being able to shift context is setting the frame of what every interaction is and being the one to openly say what the frame is as the conversation starts. And I'm so glad that we can have this talk in a calm way that is focused on learning instead of punishment. A massively transformed perception and context. So I've changed what this means and the definition of what's allowed here. So context gives us the final P, which is permission.